Well, are you ready to do something really bold and unusual today? That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be painting a mountain. And I also have something that I want to show you. And so let's just go ahead and go to the easel and I'll show you how to get started. And my name is Yovette. I just want to make a lot of dark color. So I'm starting out with black, blue, and crimson, and get a lot of paint because this brush is going to take a lot of paint. So make a pretty big pile. And let's also add some orange in there. And just mix this up and get your brush fully loaded. For the sake of time, I'm speeding up this video, as you can see. Now when you're putting this coat on, this dark coat on, you can do crisscross strokes, you can do circles, you can do zigzags, you can just do anything. All you want to do is just get the paint on the canvas and then spread it out fairly even. Now as you can see, I added a little bit of blue there, and I've got I'm just mixing this up. I'm just going here and there and dabbing around, and I'm letting it mix in with that white. But you notice I'm leaving some white spaces. It's not covered totally, not 100%, because I do want some air spaces in there, some lightness and some darkness. So just keep working that paint, take out any big brush strokes, and now let's add some orange. Now this is going to make a beautiful color in the sky. This is actually a Bill Alexander painting, and he called his Big Mountain. I'm going to call mine Majestic Mountain, just because I like that name and I think it fits better. But here I have my blender brush. It's just a very soft brush, and I call it my bunny brush. Nobody likes that name, but I don't care. I call it my buddy brush. And I'm just smoothing out this canvas just a little bit more. Any place that I see that's real obvious that I don't like, I'm just smoothing that out. And just keep working this paint back and forth until you have a sky that you kind of like. Now right here is still a little bit too light, so I'm just adding some dark color. And I'm just blending that in with the bunny brush. So I got to show you this. I'm so proud of this. This is an Alexander knife. This is the knife I got when I became certified to teach Alexander method of painting. And as you can see, the color is kind of a bronze or a gold color. The regular knives are silver, but this one is a beautiful kind of a bronze color. I'm so proud of this knife. The other knife I want to show you is my Bob Ross knife. It's the knife I got when I was a certified Bob Ross instructor. And what it says is Bob Ross Certified Instructor Yovette Bronson CRI, which stands for Certified Ross Instructor. And also you can get certified for floral, which is CRFI, and you can get certified for wildlife painting, which is a CRWI, and I am certified in all those methods. So starting out with this knife. Now this knife is just a little bit different than the Bob Ross knife. Can't tell you exactly how, it just is different. It feels different, it behaves differently. But I really like this knife for some things. So I'm going to start out with some white and adding a little Indian yellow to it. And just don't mix it real well. I don't want it totally mixed, I just want it kind of marbled. So go ahead and put that. Let's add some more white here. And just a touch of orange. And like I say, don't mix it totally, leave it marbled. And notice when I put my knife in this paint, I'm not getting a roll like a traditional Bob Ross roll on the knife. This, I'm just loading that knife with paint. I'm just putting the knife in flat and just picking up whatever it wants to pick up. And you can see this is really quite heavy. And that's okay, that's exactly what I want. So for this mountain, I don't want to do exactly in the center, so let's just start off a little bit off center. And just starting out with my little peaks, and I'm not putting much pressure on the knife at all. This is actually a very light pressure. So as you can see, it leaves a very, very thick paint on the canvas. It's very, very thick. It'll take a very long time for this to dry because it is so thick. But that's okay because we're not in a hurry, right? I'm reloading that knife. And let's just go back and add a little bit more. And just watch as I do this now. No pressure. I'm not making a big long sweeping stroke. It's more like just little strokes. Let's come down a little bit further. And I'm leaving some of those dark spaces in there. When I saw this painting, I thought, wow, that is just such a neat painting. I'm going to have to try this. So now I just want to add some white and yellow, just white and yellow together with just a tiniest, tiniest little bit of red, just barely anything. And again, I'm just laying that knife flat in the paint and just letting it pick up however much paint it wants to pick up. So now this is just a slight bit lighter color. And I'm just going right over the top of what I've already done. And because you have so much paint on here, it's leaving a really nice thick texture on the canvas. You actually have to try this to know what I'm talking about, because I don't think the camera really picks it up exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm just go ahead and just add that lighter color on top. Just wherever you think it needs it. It's just a little bit of highlighting. Now this time, I'm adding a lot more white to the mix. This is still a light color, but it's got yellow and white in it. And see how I'm really going slow with this. I'm not moving fast at all. I think moving slow is what helps that texture to develop. And I really like this the way it's turning out. And just come down. Not going all the way to the bottom of the canvas though. So now I want to add some Prussian blue and some crimson. And let's go over to the other side of this mountain, and we're going to do the shadow side. And again, I'm doing the same thing. It's a very light touch, just letting the canvas pull off whatever amount of paint it wants to. I'm loading frequently. Now my dark color happens to be quite thick, and your dark color may be thick or thin, and you'll get a different look depending on what how wet your paint is. So anyway, like I say, mine is very, very thick, so it's coming off kind of globby, but that's okay. Just keep adding to that shadow side. Adding just a little bit more crimson to my color. And you can make this mountain many different ways. It doesn't have to be just one peak. If you want to make several peaks in your mountain, you can do that. This is your painting. You can develop it however you like. Now back to my light color, I want to start adding some reflections in the water. So I'm bringing down, now notice the direction is just opposite. I'm reflecting that mountain. So it's just opposite. And here at the bottom, I'm just bringing upward because on my canvas, it's hard to reach the bottom here. So I had to do it this way, which is a little bit weird, but it works. Upside down painting. And that's another thing. If you want to turn your painting upside down, you could easily do that. For painting reflections. Nothing says you have to keep it right side up to paint those reflections. And now with that same dark color, let's go to the other side and paint reflections in the water on that side. Just load that knife and just fill that in. Not solid though, leave some spaces. Now back to the Alexander knife, and with just pure white. Wipe that knife off frequently because you're going to be picking up a lot of that undercolor because it is so thick. And just highlight in a few areas here. Not all over, but just mostly towards the top. Now let's grab some blue and crimson and white because we're going to highlight the shadow side. And again, very light touch, lots of paint on that knife. I'm pulling very slowly. And let's do the same on the bottom here. So for the reflection, add a little bit of that lighter color down here. Now I want you to scrape up all your dark colors and just put them all in a big pile because we're going to make bushes and shrubs and trees. And I'm going to do this with the knife, this part of it here. And the reason I chose the knife is because that paint is so thick, and by using a brush, it would pick up too much of the undercolor. So I thought the knife was a better option. So just go ahead and just start making little dabs with the knife. Bring it, some of it down into this water area. And it's not going to show too much on this right side here, but that's okay. Go ahead and make those shrubs and bushes anyway. Or trees if you want little trees in there. And make this one a little bit taller here so it shows up more. It's hard getting used to the knife for making trees and bushes and shrubs because it doesn't act like a brush at all. But that's okay, it's a learning thing. Now with my blender brush, I want to start at the very bottom of the canvas, and notice I'm lifting upward, but very lightly because I do not want to disturb the real dark paint. So just lift up and then wipe that brush off, and then do the same thing on the dark side. lifting upward. And then just sweep across, and extremely lightly, because like I say, the paint's thick. But notice that makes a beautiful, kind of mesmerizes the water. So for the tree, I'm going to make a big tree on the left-hand side. I decided to use my chip brush. These are great brushes for painting because they are just, they're a Chinese bristle, or a boar bristle, I guess you could say. They hold their shape and they pick up a lot of paint. And so they're great for making big trees. Now you can use another brush if you want, or you could even use your knife for this part of the painting if you would like. But I chose this brush just because I like it. And let's go up higher here. Even higher. Get a lot of paint on your brush, load it both sides really good, and this just light little taps back and forth on the left and the right side of that trunk. Leave some spaces here and there if you like. And just start working your way down. I think this is going to turn out lovely. I can't wait till the end to see it. I'm filling in a little bit here on the dark. I just want to put some dark in here. And just wherever you see some spaces that you think need filling in, just go ahead and touch them up. I do that with a lot of my trees because it's rare that I make a tree that I really like the first time down. And let's go ahead and just fill this in down here. I just decided I want to bring this tree a lot closer. So just bring that dark all the way to the bottom of your canvas. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's have a tree over there to enclose it. And just bring that one all the way down also. And now I see I want more of that lighter color in the reflections on the water. So I'm just adding a little bit of white, and then with the bunny brush just lifting up and then across. I want to do the same thing down here with a little bit of reflection with the light blue color. And lift up and across. Good, okay. And because I turned off my camera, and when I turned it back on, I was already in progress, but I just want to make water lines down here. Just pretty water lines. So here's the finished painting, and what I did is I added a little bit of shadow on the highlight side, and I also thought it would really look much better if it had just a little bit of highlight on the trees and the bushes and stuff. So I added that, and I think that's about all I did to this painting. I really like the way it turned out. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.